Well, good morning on this snowy Saturday morning of January 11th, 2025. This is a bit odd. I don't do stuff like this, but several people have told me that I should share what's going on and share kind of my perspective of how I feel like God's moving in the midst of what my flesh calls bad news, but we know that is a test that will produce a beautiful testimony one day. So, without any further ado, I have what's called a Chiari malformation of my skull, and I'm going in Monday, the 13th, for decompression surgery. It's a rare disease, I'll just say that, and there's kind of no rhyme or reason for how this symptoms develop and are displayed and when they come on. I was 45 when I experienced the largest symptoms of this. Kind of unknown of some things that have happened in my past, maybe led or were connected to this. All that to say, it's scary. It's scary to think about brain surgery. It's scary to think about the what if scenarios that can play out in your mind. And, I have kids and family and people I love. And, just surgery alone is scary. But ultimately, what I want to say more than anything about a diagnosis is that God's goodness endures forever. His peace sustains. His joy comes in the morning. That is what I've experienced more so than the frantic worrying, chaos of being concerned about what could be, what might be, what long term this looks like. I feel like this is an opportunity to shine the light of Jesus. And that's why I am talking to you early on a Saturday morning, doing something bearing my soul, which I don't do regularly. So I just hope that this is a comfort to someone out there who's struggling. I think in today's culture, we hear so much of the bad news of the wokeness of America and the cancel culture where people no longer love one another. And I don't really believe that that's the heart of America and that's the heart of people today. But what we get lost in the midst of tracking the what ifs and the anxiety and the fear of man that's rampant in today's society is that God still reigns. And he still speaks freely. We just have to listen. A good friend and a mentor in a Bible study we did, he says it's sometimes just as easy as tuning the radio to the right station. And we often don't take the time to cut the chaos of the world out to listen to God. So I hope you can hear the passion and love that I have for God and Jesus in my heart today, and that you feel a little bit that he is the light in the darkness, that he is the way out and the hope that sustains in the midst of chaos and anxiety and the world's circumstances. So I just wanted to share a couple verses with you that mean a lot to me and have been kind of life verses throughout my life, and definitely are speaking to me today during this trial. So without any further ado, here we go. So this first one is in the book of Corinthians, so 2 Corinthians 12, verse 7 through 10, and I chose the Message translation for this one as it seemed suitable for the phrasing and way in which Paul addresses this. So I'll start with verse 7. Because of the extravagance of those revelations, and so I wouldn't get a big head. I was given the gift of a handicap to keep me in constant touch with my limitations. Satan's angel did his best to get me down, and what he in fact did was push me to my knees. No danger then of walking around high and mighty. At first I didn't think of it as a gift, and begged God to remove it. 3 times I did that, and he told me, "My grace is enough. It's all you need. My grace comes into its own in your weakness." Once I heard that, I was glad to let it happen. I quit focusing on the handicap, began appreciating the gift. It was a case of Christ's strength moving in on my weakness. Now I take limitations in stride and with good cheer. These limitations that cut me down to size, abuse, accidents, oppositions, bad breaks, I just let Christ take over. And so the weaker I get, the stronger I become. And so I don't think I really need to add anything to that. I feel like God's grace is what gave us salvation, and it's also there in our weakness. He's taken on every disease, iniquity, and bore a stripe for that on the cross. And so I can rest in the peace and knowing of that. So here's another verse. Romans 8:28, and this is the New Living Translation. And we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose for them. Proverbs 3, verse 5 through 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not depend on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. James 1, verse 2 through 4, and this is the NIV. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. 1 Peter 5, verse 6 through 7. Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. And then lastly, Psalms 112, verse 6 through 8. Surely the righteous will never be shaken. They will be remembered forever. They will have no fear of bad news. Their hearts are steadfast, trusting in the Lord. Their hearts are secure. They will have no fear. In the end, they will look in triumph on their foes. And so I thank you for indulging me and reading those verses and saying a few words about this. I mean, I think, again, I recently read a book called The Awe, A-W-E. My country slang comes out. The Awe of God by John Bevere. And it spoke to me in so many ways about how bitterness and complaining, even things like retirement, it's not biblical, and it's not, look it up, but ultimately all the problems that we face today are because we're looking at the world system that got wrapped up back in, we could say back in the Roman Empire, when Constantine made Christianity the formal religion of the country and the empire, but power and government had entered into, and so we got in this mixed up, paganized, religion-based world of Christianity where the systems of government were at play, and that, you have to earn certain things for God's grace to happen, and you can't talk directly to the Father, and all this mixed up religion mess. And it just cut all of that away and cut me back to, I guess, my knees, where I wake up every morning and I'm trying to focus my energy on a God that has created the beauty outside that we see when it snows, and that every tree, every bird, every hair on my head is numbered, and he knew it before I was even born. And that God is worthy of exclamation of holy, 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 worthy is the Lamb of God. And if we focus on that, and we worship him and surrender our will and our desires and our thoughts and our trying to make everything perfect in our control freak world, then everything else lines into place. He lines it up because his will becomes paramount, because we want to be a friend of God. We don't want to be his foe, trying to be little Jesuses out here controlling everything and making everything happen the way that we want it to happen. And so I just hope that each of you can hear this message and find some encouragement that no matter what you face, brain surgery when you least expected it, and you are the fittest that you've been in a long time, but you get a surprise diagnosis, or whatever it may be, whether it's a long suffering illness, or migraine disorder, or death of a loved one, or devastation from wildfires, or devastation because of floods and hurricanes, whatever it may be, look to him. He is enough. He is enough. And he will see you through. You fear him, you give him the due reverence that he deserves, and worship his name. Everything else becomes clear. Pride falls away. Humility is paramount. Kindness is paramount. The fruits of the Spirit, patience, love, kindness, perseverance, all of those things become stronger and deeper in your midst. And so I hope you can find this encouragement today. Thank you for letting me share. Know that Jason will post an update after I'm through surgery. I'm sure it's going to go fine. Many have asked, specifically what they can do. I've been blessed so much with gift cards and food and other things, and so we're fine on that count. Honestly, I just need people to pray that the surgery goes well, that there's no complications, no nerve implications, no nausea afterwards, that the healing process is smooth, that we're all calm and patient, and that honestly that God gets the glory out of this, that I can use this as a testimony to point others to him. That's what I want. That's what I want more than anything else. I need nothing else. I don't need a clean house. I don't need new anything. He's enough. He's enough, and I want him to get the glory. And I refuse to let the devil win here. So I love you guys. If I don't personally respond to you, just know that I'm trying to decompress myself emotionally and be mentally steadfast and ready for Monday. But we will be in touch in the coming weeks, and I'll update when I can. Love you. Thank you.